When I was recently interviewing Suresh Peri of Mult-t-Lock on the BVTV Talking Tech show, it struck me what a great example his company is of a conscious business. So I just had to get him back for this interview. A conscious business knows that it's judged not by what it makes, but what it is. It's aware of its community, its people, and environmental responsibilities. It strives to show best practice wherever it can and be innovative in such activity. Award-winning Mult-t-Lock is the leader in secure access control solutions and has developed superb technological innovations to meet the changing needs of today's workplace and home. But what struck me and impressed me was how the company is focused on its consciousness. So let me reintroduce you to the person who was my guest on the Talking Tech show. Welcome back, Suresh Peri.
Very good afternoon, Malcolm. Thank you again for having me. You're very patient to have me back again, but thank you so much.
It's lovely to see you, Suresh. Suresh, I wanted to ask you to be a guest on the Conscious Business Show because, as I said, I was so impressed with the way Mult-t-Lock is going about caring for the environment. So tell us some more of your lean and green activity in this area.
That's a very, very nice question, Malcolm. I mean, not just Mult-t-Lock, improving operational efficiency and sustainability. These are now successfully developed and being applied by many cutting-edge organizations. Obviously, that includes Mult-t-Lock and Assa Abloy as a whole, which Mult-t-Lock is a part of. We now have waste management and recycling plants installed at most, if not all of our sites across the world. We produce most of the components used in our products using recycled raw materials, such as brass and nickel silver, to create environmentally friendly products. In addition to that, we also supply more sustainable products in the form of key-free entry, using rechargeable batteries for most of our electromechanical locking products. At the same time, we also use 100% recycled material for packaging. So even in our offices as well, like in addition to the products and the key-free entry systems that we said, if you consider our offices or our factories, we have motion sensors installed for lights and for other equipment in order for them to turn, automatically turn on and turn off themselves, thereby conserving energy. We also use energy-saving devices in most of our meeting rooms. For example, if I want to use a meeting room, I'll have to use my credential or a card, insert it in the energy-saving device, and only then the lights or any other electric devices will turn on in the room. So, I mean, to conclude on that question, it's not one thing that we are trying to, use sustainability or try and recycle. It's a lot of things that Mult-t-Lock as a whole, or Assa Abloy as a whole, we try and do our best to have a better environment.
Excellent. Now, to me, that shows complete commitment. Why should businesses care about this work that you're doing? How can it help them tell their own conscious business story?
In today's world, it is really important to preserve natural resources, minimize the use of hazardous substances where possible. We all need to find the right balance to manufacture things, to make our lives comfortable at the same time, and utilize less resources where possible. Sustainability, I keep using this word quite regularly, but sustainability is the answer for this. I came across a very, very nice statement on one of our websites. It's really interesting. Letting people live optimally today without compromising the well-being of the world of tomorrow. So that one statement in itself summarizes, the answer for your question. So in short, businesses and products with sustainable options help to make the world a better place for both present and the future. So we think it's our responsibility for doing business. That's the way to do business today.
Yeah, I totally agree. I really like that statement. Just say it again, please, so that our viewers.
Of course. Letting people live optimally today without compromising the well-being of the world of tomorrow.
Brilliant.
So
Now,
it
if
really struck with me. Yeah.
yeah, same here, Suresh. Same here. If I was to say to you that the conscious leader should be thinking about the security of his or her people, many would think I'm stretching the conscious agenda too far. But in these changing and uncertain times, I do believe that a good leader thinks about or should think about access and security care. So, am I right or wrong? What should a conscious leader be thinking about at this strange and fluid time in respect of its people?
Um, you are right in the way you were thinking, whether it's a very sensitive question or not. But more than ever before, I think the conscious leader needs to think more about security now. It could be of his or her employees. Um, we now have some, still working from home, considering the current situation, some in the offices, obviously to maintain social distances when and where possible. If you think about the current pandemic that is happening, this security was always important, but the social distancing part that we now need to add to security as well plays a very, very vital role. So it's important that the security systems that are in place for people who are working shifts, sometimes odd times, and sometimes limited people working in open plan offices where they used to have 50 or maybe 70 people working together. Now it must probably be limited to half or even less than half, because some people are still working from home. So this is where we personally think that remote access, where the manager or the conscious leader should be in a position to provide remote access to their employees, key free entry when and where possible. Like, so if someone walks to the front of the door should automatically open depending on who the employee is, what time of the day, and what day of the week they're trying to access the building or the floor. Timed access, again, this is a very important point. So security and timed access go hand in hand together. Someone walking into the building, maybe on a Saturday, trying to use their card, and they shouldn't be accessing or gaining entry to the building on a weekend. This is where having restrictions on timed access is very important. Again, most or currently we have a lot of new products that we are developing and that are currently in the market as well, where we use virtual keys instead of your traditional physical mechanical keys. So you can send a virtual key to a mobile of an employee, and they can walk to the building, present the phone, instead of having to use a physical key, use the phone itself to gain access to the building. And if they have to use physical keys to access, then we do have an option with antibacterial keys, which, like, and again, in the current situation or current pandemic issue that we are having, antibacterial keys solve a lot of problem where you don't, transfer too many germs. So all these solutions that we currently have will help us achieve, or a conscious leader achieve, security as well as convenience at the same time for their
Mm.
employees.
Yeah, and just to remind everybody behind me, you'll see the URL to pop along to the Mult-t-Lock site there. The conscious business is also conscious of its hard-won reputation. That reputation could easily be damaged if it didn't invest in the right access solutions, say, not showing it the right duty of care. Do you think enough businesses, though, really understand this danger and where it can come from?
Uh, um, we live in a world where convenience and security, they go hand in hand. Hence, finding the right access solution that provides both is paramount. Personally, in the UK, most businesses still think that we live in the world of mechanical security,
Mm.
but things have changed drastically in the last few years. So there's a lot of progress made in electronic access control as well. You can use both of these, both mechanical security as well as electronic access control. It's like achieving best of both worlds in a way. So you're having high security and convenient access with the previous question that you asked, and I mentioned certain things like time-based functions, remote access to secured buildings, and the same way virtual keys as well to employees to unlock doors or certain times of the day or certain days of the week. So this feature is really important to secure both private and public buildings, mainly in emergency situations as well. I'll give you an example. Like imagine, I mean, we unfortunately we come across certain news that's on TV or maybe in the newspaper sometimes where there have been attacks in public buildings or sometimes schools. So situations like that, we now have facilities or features in some of our access control systems wherein you can remotely block certain doors from opening, or you can even remotely open certain doors for people to escape. So these are the things that you wouldn't have on a standard mechanically operated door. So this is the time that we need to think ahead and see, like, technology has moved further, and most of it is mainly for security as well as giving convenience to us at the same time.
Mm. I bet you if we look at technology today and you say to us the first Mission Impossible or the first James Bond films, where they were just imagining that we would have mobile phones and be able to remotely open doors. What a change, but so important. Now, I know that you are personally proud to work for Mult-t-Lock. A good and conscious business, though, keeps its people, suppliers, customers, stakeholders well informed with clear communication. How does Mult-t-Lock achieve this?
Um, your first statement that I'm very proud of working for Mult-t-Lock, that's absolutely bang on because last January, I've completed my 10 years with
Wow,
Mult-t-Lock. So
congratulations.
thank you so much. And I'm really proud. I'm very passionate about the products and the way we deal with our customers as well. We don't see customers as an account number. We see them as, like, a friendly or part of a family as such. That's how most of our customers feel as well about us as a business. Because just to give you an instance, recently we've all unfortunately had to face the lockdown a few months back, where the whole country had to go into lockdown. The same thing happened to most of the businesses as well. But even in those tough times, we made sure that we had a plan to call each and every single customer of ours just to keep them engaged. There wasn't a business or a plan behind the call to try and see, like, we can sell more. It was nothing to do with sales or profitability at the time. That was the time where you have to engage with your customers, because we always, like I said, we consider them as part of our family. So we made sure that each day we had a set number of phone contacts, and we distributed these numbers within the Mult-t-Lock team. And each of us, irrespective of it being our managing director, some sales managers who work in Ireland, it doesn't matter who or who was calling out, but we made sure that each of us took that responsibility as, like, it has to be done. And honestly, like, most of our customers sent us feedback as well, saying that they really appreciated the way we helped them in a way, like, just put them engaged, or made them feel that we're still there and we are all together. So I mean, that's one part of the communication. That's how we try and engage with our customers during the lockdown. But coming back to the other communications as well, we constantly post a lot on social media, because, like, with technology, obviously we have to use social media as much as we can as well. That includes Facebook, Twitter, and we always also have a lot of posts on LinkedIn. So most of our customers who are on social media, they have access to all our posts. At the same time, we publish in a lot of magazines or security magazines as well. Again, these publications that we do, it's not purely about our products. We sometimes have general publications where we talk about security, we talk about security in general, we talk about technology in general. So it's not always about selling. I mean, a lot of companies do that way, but we look at the wider and the bigger picture. So we tend to do generic communications and talk about security as a whole. In addition to that, we do have mailing lists. Obviously, like, whoever we talk about the terminology called GDPR, everyone is aware of it now. So whoever signed up to receive information from us, we do send them emails as well. Again, like I say, it's not purely sales based. most of it, or I would say 90% of the emails or circulations that we do is predominantly talking about information as to what is available and how people should think about going forward, securing their sites, or it's most of it is generic information.
Brilliant. I really like that. It's showing nice caring as well. So obviously, Mult-t-Lock is a conscious business. Actually, I think you what we call a lighthouse business, lighthouse beacon showing the way. So
Yeah.
give me three ways that Mult-t-Lock can help other businesses on their journey to being a conscious business.
Well, three ways. um Obviously, we've the main conversation point of this has been talking about sustainability and how a conscious business should progress or think about sustainability as their main motto. I would propose something called 3 Rs. One R being recycle. So recycle anything and everything you can. The second one is reduce. So conserve energy, reduce the use of materials like paper, try and become paperless as much as you can. That's what we do in our workplace as well. Like I gave you certain examples where we use saving readers, and most of our offices as well are now paperless. We try and scan as much as we can, and we use our data storage, which are stored on our servers as much as we can. So there is a lot of limitation, or of physical use of paper as such. And the third R is reuse. So where possible, just reuse any recycled materials, or to manufacture more sustainable products. So in short, yeah, just to conclude, it's the 3 R policy that I would like to propose, or the three ways, the way you mentioned, is recycle, reduce, and then reuse.
Brilliant. Thank you, Suresh. Suresh Peri of Mult-t-Lock. Don't forget award-winning Mult-t-Lock and the URLs behind me there. I've thoroughly enjoyed meeting you again, and you truly do represent a conscious business. Thanks for the interview.
Thank you so much, Malcolm. Thank you for having me. Thank you.